What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 402nd episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I'm your host, Steve, SBJ, and with me today is Will.
You have to pardon my aggravation and frustration. All I wanted to do was take a walk to St. Paul this morning, and it decided to do something that's I've never seen before, halfway between rain and snow. I don't know, but I just could not venture out into that. So I have a little, non-exercise frustration going on here.
Greg, also here.
It's called spring. This is what spring do in Minnesota. It sleets.
Was that sleet? I'm not sure if that was sleet.
It's a mixture between snow and rain. It's that sort of in between. It's technically sleet, except there weren't winds, so it was more like snowy rain.
Oh, maybe there wasn't wind up in your part of town. There certainly was a lot of wind down in my part of town.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet up here, up in the north.
This has been another episode of the Weather Podcast.
This is your Minnesota Weather Podcast.
Okay, we got some cool things to talk about today. Pokemon news did happen. We have some Masters news. We have some Sword and Shield news. We have some Pokemon Go news. Actually, really interesting Pokemon Go news this week. It doesn't have to do with events, although there is a new event going on. So even if you don't play Pokemon Go, I think this news is at least interesting. It's not a lot, but I think it's still interesting. I also launched a Animal Crossing podcast recently called Animals Crossing Lines, which you can find everywhere you can find podcasts. It should be in iTunes and Google Play Podcasts, or Google Play Music and Google Podcasts and Spotify and Stitcher and Overcast and Pocket Cast and Podler. Wherever you find podcasts, it should be there. If you cannot find it, just let me know. I can do a manual submission to the podcast service to make sure it shows up. Although 99% of podcast services just read an RSS feed, so it should automatically be there. But they're short 10-minute episodes. If you guys don't know about Animal Crossing, there are 400 animals in New Horizons, and so each episode's about 10 minutes long, and it covers one animal an episode, so you can get to know them a little bit better, have some fun trivia about them. So they're short. First time I'm doing like a very short mini podcast kind of thing, so we'll see if that takes off. That might actually be helpful for some people that used to listen to podcasts on their commute, and they might not be commuting anymore, so which might be bad for this show since we're a real long podcast.
Are you doing resident and non-resident animals, or only resident animals?
I've only been doing residents just because I think a lot of the time people don't know what animals they could get to move in. And so by explaining these possible I didn't know about, there's an animal called Boomer, and he's a penguin. And
I used to have Boomer.
And I've been playing Animal Crossing since the GameCube version, and I think Boomer was introduced in Wild World. And I didn't know about Boomer just because there's so many animals. So now that I do know about Boomer, I want him to move in.
I've helped you the best I can.
That's true. I do have the Boomer poster now. So I think that's kind of the goal, is like, if you know Animal Crossing, the podcast isn't too long where it shouldn't be boring. You might learn a trivia thing, like you might know who Julian is, but don't know Julian's birthday. So the podcast gives you the trivia of that. Or you might go, oh, I didn't know there was a monkey named Nana, and they're hot pink, and that's my favorite color, and I like monkeys, so I want Nana to move in. So that's kind of the goal of the podcast. It's easy because I can record it myself, edit it, and then it's only 10 minutes or so I don't have to rely. This is not a complaint, but because my schedule is so busy, I always have to put people like Greg in a position where we're recording at 1 a.m.
I will point out, where do you think I'm not doing anything.
That's true.
Like, you could say we're going to record at 3 a.m. I'm like, fine.
In this day and age,
the days are all blending together as it is.
So all I can say to you guys is, welcome to my world.
Animals Crossing lines. If you search Animal Crossing, it should pop up. If you search PKMNcast, it also should pop up. So pretty easy there. All right, with that promo out of the way, let's get into some news. Let's start with this Pokemon Go news. This was sent in by Nama from our Slack community. Nama? I never said that out loud. Nama?
I think it's actually Nama.
Nama.
I don't know. I've never attempted to say it out
loud. I mostly call them by their last name, so...
Okay. All right, well, this is from Dexterto, however you say that, esports-focused website, titled, Pokemon Go trainers are losing Go Battle League matches on purpose. So Go Battle League, that is some news in itself. It's updated to the Ultra Cup. The only good cup is the Great League Cup, but I guess we're in Ultra season now. So for the article goes, for some players, the allure of GBL, Go Battle League, rewards outweighs winning. Now it would make sense for rewards to be given to players who win, and that's exactly how it's set up. So why would players be losing? The reason is to get themselves in a position where it's easier to win. This is actually a huge thing in Clash Royale. I don't know if you remember this, Greg.
I do remember this.
GBL matches will match you against players of similar rank based on your rank and your rating until you reach to rank 7, and then you will meet players of the same rank. This changes when you reach rank 8, though. At that point, you will be given a ranking, and you can't drop down to a different rank. From rank 8 to 10, you will always be matched similars of the trainers with similar rankings. It makes sense that less experienced trainers and therefore easier opponents are found between 1 to 7, because getting to rank 8 isn't that difficult. You have to win about 27 matches. So once you get to the matchmaking based on rating points, winning becomes much harder. The only way to give yourself easier matches is to minimize your rating in purpose cases where trainers have built up a higher ranking and then lose several on purpose. With Go Battle League not requiring you to walk 3 kilometers in between sets due to the global health situation, losing a lot of battles quickly isn't difficult. And this is far from in keeping how much Pokemon games should be played. A lot of players are competing for the rewards, and apparently the rewards only.
What else are you competing for?
Well, you could compete
glory.
Just because it's fun.
There's nothing fun about battling in Go.
I mean, you could maybe say there's not a lot of fun in rock, paper, scissors, rock?
There isn't.
And people don't go out and do, as far as I know, competitive rock, paper, scissors either.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
I am sure there's a scene for it.
I'm looking this up now.
I am sure there's like a subreddit dedicated to it. I'm sure there's like casino. I don't know about casinos, but
gambling.
This is the fall of humanity.
I can't remember if Clash Royale ever fixed this, but it was the same thing in Clash Royale where what people would do is, because you got so every time there was 3 towers in Clash Royale, you could win a match by knocking out 1 tower, but you would only get like 1 point at the end of the match. So what people would do is, when stuff was about to reset for the week, they would lose a bunch, and then they could just turn their game on and just, not play, and then they get the loss, and then they just lose a bunch, and then when they are ready to play, they're matched with people so bad that they could 3-tower anyone, and then they could get all their weekly rewards instantly and not actually worry about their overall ranking because they were only in it for the rewards. And that's like exactly what's happening now in Pokemon Go. Some people might care about their win-loss ratio, like, I'm 50 wins, 75 losses, I think that's pretty good, etc., etc. But some people just don't care. Like, I just want the Cobalion, or I just want the rewards. If I lose a bunch, and then I don't have to spend $1 to guarantee that I'm going to get a Pokemon on my 4th encounter, I am more likely to win 4 matches by losing a bunch, getting paired with 4 bad people, beat them easily, get my Cobalion, not shiny, okay, rinse and repeat. Because they don't care about their streak or their win-loss ratio.
I had no idea they were giving away Pokemon as part of the Battle League.
Yes, it's the only way right now to get Scraggy, Rufflet. It is one way to get Cobalion if you don't want to do raids. I think Giratina is in it, or was in it.
I think it was. I think it's been replaced with Cobalion right now.
But that's how I got my Cobalion, is Go Battle League. I got lucky. And I actually faced one of those players. I'm in rank 6. Rank 6 or rank 7, before they start giving you a number. And I faced a player that sent out a Magikarp, a Swablu, and a Love Disc. And I was like, this is weird. And then I was like, oh, I bet they're purposely losing to...
Did they tap?
No, not at all. They didn't do anything. They just...
See, yeah, that's like, they should monitor for people who don't tap at all through the entire battle, and then those people like get knocked out or something like that. If the point is that they want people to actually battle, although I can also understand only doing it for the rewards, because there is no World Championships of Pokemon Go Battle League yet for the glory, so there is no glory. There's only the rewards.
There's only the rewards. FYI, I just sent you an article. Inside the World of Professional Rock, Paper, Scissors. For your own reading pleasure later.
Perfect. Well, the thing...
It exists.
So do you think... Well, part of this is because there's no limit to how many times you can do Go Battle.
Yeah.
So if they were to get to the point where they can add back the walking, which I don't think the walking requirement is that steep, honestly. I think you're less likely to see people just throwing matches, because now those people have to just walk, then throw the matches, then walk some more. And that seems like a lot more work. And at that point, if you're only in it for Cobalion, and people are outside once again, it just seems like doing one Cobalion raid is probably easier than walking, losing 5 matches, walking, losing 5 matches, and then getting to a point where you can win 2 or 3 matches in a row to get what you're looking for.
I don't know. I walked 7 miles yesterday. There were plenty of people outside.
There were a lot of people out when I was out for St. Louis this day. I think it will slow it down. I don't think it will stop it. I mean, and why would it? There are exclusive rewards that are locked behind winning or losing. And we see this in a lot of different games. It's easier to... We see it even in VGCs. It's easier to drop your ranking down to get a bunch of easy opponents in a row than it is to try to go past sort of that borderline where people start really knowing what they're doing. And even if you have to walk, people who just want those rewards are going to do it because it's just way easier. It just is. I don't know that it's, like, necessarily a bad thing. Like, I would argue that it's ruining the experience, but it's not much of an experience. I mean, the only real thing for doing is getting the reward. So if people want to give X amount of people easier wins to get towards that reward, so that later they can have easier wins to get to that same reward, it's not like the worst thing that's ever happened. It's not hacking the game.
What if both players are trying to throw them back?
Well, I mean, one of them has to realize it and take the win.
It's mostly just against the spirit of the competition, right? It's like you're supposed to be doing this because you want to be the best, not because you want rewards. But there's no glory for being the best. So there you go. I mean, they've created their own trap.
Nothing. I'm the best at tapping my phone. Woo!
All right, some other Pokemon Go news here. This is the good stuff. This is the good stuff.
Now, I had the good stuff on Friday. Oh.
This is actually off the Sulphur Road subreddit, which was pulled from a tweet. rmac18 verified user on Twitter. But, I mean, they just used a website. They are a senior tech reporter from BuzzFeed. They just used a website to track this, but Pokemon Go app changes their bio. So their old bio said, step outside and discover Pokemon in the real world. Follow us for updates. Get up and go. It now says, discover Pokemon in the real world. Follow us for Pokemon Go updates.
Well, times have changed.
Just their Twitter bio. I mean, yup, you can't go out right now.
I wonder if they were worried about like legal stuff.
I would say less legal stuff and more where we are right now in sort of socially being worried about being insensitive.
Yeah.
And like somebody then turning around and saying, well, you're encouraging people to go outside or go out and they're not supposed to. You know what? My Minnesota governor told me I'm supposed to go outside. So I don't know what the issue is, people.
My governor also said, you feel free to go to the park. Just, keep your space.
Which people aren't doing. I was so mad on Friday. I'm like, get away from me.
I don't want this to be the discussion of the day, but boy, oh boy, Greg, I am so with you on that.
I'm like, get over on your side of this path. I realize we have to pass each other, but move to the side.
The psychic type event is also going on in Pokemon Go.
Yep.
So
yeah, I got a giraffe rig.
That last.
Oh, I never found a giraffe rig. I got a ton of solosis and made my Reuniculus.
That will last until I think Tuesday evening. The Lugia Ho-Oh event was canceled this past weekend as well. So Greg, Will, and I were supposed to go to St. Louis together, and that was canceled.
Correct, and rightly so.
I decided to stream it from my house to see how good it would be from my house. I was well aware that probably getting up and moving, even if it was in a car, would probably be a better way to play it. But I was really curious what the event would be like for somebody who couldn't have that. And so I ended up playing 7 of the 8 hours. I missed the first hour. And it was okay. I mean, I ended up with 2 shinies. The event does guarantee you a third shiny, or a guaranteed shiny, which I guess was the third one I got, which was Teddy Ursa.
Yep.
They did make the event. They did a couple cool things. Number one is it was cool that they were able to give players on those days that they planned for. Because keep in mind, if you bought a ticket in January, you probably took those days off and planned some sort of chirp around it. So most people, at that point, probably still had that weekend available to them. And so it was cool that they did something for those people. It was also cool that like the event the tasks for the event did give you 200 Great Balls, which is awesome. And they were really easy. I think one was like, evolve 5 Pokemon or something, and then like give your buddy a treat and I don't know, catch 1 grass type or something. It was super easy. And then when you cashed it in, you got 100 Great Balls. And then the next set of tasks was like give your buddy 3 treats, pet your buddy, take a picture of your buddy, and then you got another 100 Great Balls. And then when you completed that, you got a shiny Teddy Ursa. So giving you 200 Great Balls, pretty great. I planned for the event, so the day before the event started, I went to the park, slowly drove through a very empty park and spun all the stops to stock up on Pokeballs. So I went into the event with 600 Pokeballs. I ended the event with about 100 Pokeballs and like 0 Great Balls and 0 Ultra Balls. And I had started the event with about 100 Great and 100 Ultra. Didn't have to buy anything. I didn't have to buy any more Pokeballs. Overall, if you only went into the event with 100 Pokeballs, you probably ran out in like an hour. Or if you didn't have friends to open gifts from. But the spawns were nonstop. I think about every 30 seconds it changed if you didn't catch it.
Yeah, if you didn't catch it. That was the thing that I had to get used to, because I had my incense up, and then I was also walking. And so when I would see something, I was like, oh, I'm going to catch that. And then the thing that just popped my incense, I can't wait. I'll catch that one quick because I really wanted to get this one. And by the time I had caught the other one and come back, it had switched to a different night, because it was on like it felt more like 20 seconds, but it was probably 30 where it would just pop into a different one.
That was so confusing for me too, because I would literally click on one thing and then when it appeared, it would be something completely different.
And then for players who had a ticket, they gave you one. Did you have to activate your incense, or did it kick in automatically?
No, I had to.
I had to activate it.
I activated mine, but then it lasted 8 hours. It even lasted after the event. It was just 8 hours total.
Yep.
Because I had an extra hour even.
But it was confusing because the timer didn't say 8 hours. The
Correct.
timer said 1
not.
hour, and it just kept resetting over and over.
It just kept resetting itself. I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that seems like a weird. They probably did it because it was easy, but
Right.
It was confusing at first of like, is this supposed to reset on its own? The other thing is like the event broke midway through and it turned into nothing but Solosis for 2 hours.
Oh.
You were supposed to get like Oddish, Teddiursa, Lunatone, Snivy, Ferocity, Chatot, Unknown.
Yep.
And I was getting all of those like nonstop for, I started at 11 until about 1 o'clock. And then I was getting nothing but Solosis. I counted, I got 11 Solosis in a row off an Incent, then like a Teddiursa, then like another 10 Solosis. And I was streaming it on Twitch. And I was talking to people in chat, and they were like, yeah, we were getting a variety of psychic Pokemon, but now we're getting nothing but Solosis. Because people not participating in the event, they were seeing like Drowsies and Gothittas and Execute and Slowpoke, but then they also got nothing but Solosis. And it was like about 2 hours, and then all of a sudden it was like, no more Solosis, and it was like back to Lunatone and Pikachu and stuff. So I'm not sure what broke. It's not a complaint to be like, oh, I want my money back. It was frustrating for sure, but also I guess now I have enough for 2 Reuniqueluses.
Yeah. I went to my park up by me, which is the art park. So there's a lot of stops in a very small circle because it's not a huge park. And things are spawning there on a pretty solid clip. I was fairly impressed. I walked away with 3 shiny Teddiursa, 2 shiny Lunatones, and the reason why I'm announcing my retirement from Pokemon Go, 2 shiny Roselia.
Oh
Finally,
gosh.
It happened. I've won the game.
You
I
won?
do not need to continue.
Now you can lose all your battles.
To get nothing. I don't need anything more.
Let me get one of them Teddiursas.
Wait, you already got a shiny Teddiursa.
Listen,
I gotta get another one.
Listen, mister, I'm not going to give you my purple roses.
No. I said, yeah, you can have my purple roses. I only have 4. I need 4 to start breeding more.
Yeah, see? And I need 3 shiny Teddiursas to breed more.
That's
See
fair.
how that feels.
Hey, I said you could take the white roses.
Yeah, then you did let me in. I also didn't try.
So I think it was important for them to acknowledge and do this event because while they did not cancel it and they only postponed it, I don't know if I can go to whatever the new date is. And like, it could be the same weekend you guys are going to Gen Con. It could be a weekend where, I'm in Seattle or I'm at TwitchCon. Like, I don't know when this new date is.
Yeah. I mean, and I will say, like, I spent 2 hours. I spent an hour in the morning at home to see what it was like at home. And then I drove to the park and spent an hour there with way too many people. And it was fine. Like, I really wish my biggest complaint is the fact that I didn't have like any of my friends there because obviously for very many reasons that's not possible right now. So like it was less fun and I didn't spend as much time on it because it was just me doing it in my house and then me doing it in the park with people who don't understand what 6 feet means. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was fine for a fill-in event. I feel like given the circumstances, they did something that rewarded enough. Like, I got a bunch of Snivy. I love Snivy. I got a bunch of Solosis. I got Teddiursa. Like, I got a bunch of Chadots, so I got them so people who couldn't do it, I can trade a Chatot. I only saw 2 unknowns. I got L and I think.
Yeah, I got an I. That's all I got for unknowns.
I was missing T, and I was able to find 2 Ts, so.
But other than that, I was like, okay. For a last minute fill-in event, it was better than I expected, but certainly not like super great. But
yeah,
I got my 2 shiny Roselia, and that was probably the highlight of that whole hour of walking around. I was like, oh, it's finally.
I didn't go anywhere. I did it from my office with my Pokeball Plus. But I did end up with a shiny Meditite.
Ooh.
And the weird Pikachu with a fedora? Is that what he's got on his head?
It's like bowler hat Pikachu. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, shiny bowler hat Pikachu too.
Yeah.
That's the one I wanted the most.
Well, I'll trade it to you because I don't want it. It makes me think of Clockwork Orange, and I want it off my phone.
All right, deal.
When we're allowed to meet each other again.
Okay, speaking of meeting new people, this is off Pokemon.com. Guzma and Golisopod and Plumeria and Salazzle crash into Pokemon Masters. These two sync pairs bring Team Skull's toughness to Paseo in a new, all-new story event, plus some sweet bonuses. Watch out, trainers. The toughest team in the Alola region has stomped its way onto the island of Paseo. I don't think they got the memo that Team Skull is not the toughest.
Yeah, like
Who's tougher than Team Skull?
The Aether Foundation?
That's not a team. Give me another team that's tougher than Team
Aether
Skull.
Foundation.
They are the toughest team.
That's right. Team Skull has arrived to Pokemon Masters. The bug-type sync pair Guzma and Golisopod and the poison-type sync pair Plumeria and Salazzle come to play. Both 5-star sync pairs are available in the Guzma and Plumeria Spotlight Scout. There is a new story that will feature Team Skull Crash Course, available up until April 13th. In the new single-player story event, you will complete events to earn travel tokens, and then you can travel and unlock new areas of the map. You will also get a new special bonus for having Guzma or Plumeria or Liza and Lunatone on your team while completing the event. That's my favorite member of Team Skull, Liza and Lunatone. Oh, full disclosure, I am partnered with TNA. Greg and Will are not. There are 4 maps in the Team Skull Crash Course that feature the story area each one, and at the end of the second map, you have a chance of battling Guzma and Golisopod and Plumeria and Salazzle, even if you haven't scouted them. After the story event is over, you can traverse a larger map for additional rewards. There's also a few extra bonuses. There are 3 missions from the bingo card for this event. You can earn 150 gems per day from a login bonus from now until the Team Skull Crash Course ends. There you go.
So are there items, because I've noticed now when I log in, I get 3 alert things.
Yeah.
And so are there items that are specific to this event that if I don't use them during this event, they get converted into other items?
No, I don't think for this one.
Okay, because I had that happen, I think, for the Professor Oak event.
Oh, yeah, the Oak one.
I haven't run into them, but I will admit, since working from home, I found that I don't play mobile games at home when I have better systems to play on. So I haven't really delved into this, but it sounds like it's like the Rotomalize event.
Yeah.
In which there weren't specific items to level just those characters. I haven't run into it in this, but I will freely admit I also haven't played it. Usually in the press announcements, they say these events, or in the banners, if you go into the store, they'll have unique things. And I haven't seen that. Let me pop it open since I haven't gathered my gems yet today.
What? You don't do that first thing in the morning?
No, I got Animal Crossing to play first thing in the morning.
There's three banners right now. There's the Sabrina Scout plus present banner. There's the Fantina banner, no present. And then there's Plumeria and Guzma under the same banner. And Guzma and Plumeria both have a 1% pull rate, whereas Fantina and Sabrina have a 2% pull rate. So they did split that for those characters, which I don't know if I love or not. I would rather pull on a 2% Guzma, to be honest.
There is, in the exchange items, the only unique item event that's running right now is the Ghost type training event. So I would say that there's not items specific for the Team Skull event.
Can we clear up another piece of confusion I have about this game?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, so I open the game, it blasts horns in my ear, and it then, like, I talk to somebody, Brock tells me that he got in some good workout routine this morning or something, I don't know. And then it pops up and it says, you get this prize for whatever calendar event, and then you get this prize for logging in 7 days out of the week. And then it pops up the news feed, right? Okay, so I X out of the news feed because that's the last thing that pops up, and I'm back at the main screen. There's a little exclamation point next to my goodie bag because obviously I have to go in to claim the goodie bag, my goodies.
Which is so frustrating. I don't know why they do that.
More frustrating than that is there's an exclamation point next to the newsfeed indicator. And I'm like, you just showed me the news. Did a news happen in the milliseconds between?
Yeah. The fact that I have to click on the news again has bugged me
I'm
since the launch
I'm not
of this
missing
game.
something here.
No.
It's just okay.
It is just how the game is programmed. It makes you go into news twice, and it bothers me.
Yeah, well, just a little red exclamation point alerts are. I have to clear them, and yes, I'm Pavlov's dog. If I see a red exclamation point, I've got to clear it. And yeah, okay. I thought I was missing something about the news feed that I should be looking at, but okay.
You know, if you're low on gems and you don't care about Guzma or Plumeria, at least log in every day because you're getting one free character pull every 2 days just by logging in.
I mean, that's just how I play the game. I log in, I look at the news feed, and then I log out. I did advance the Barry story one more segment yesterday just because I didn't want to get out of bed, and I was like, let me find something ridiculous to do on my phone so I can just stay in bed for 5 minutes longer.
I mean, of the two pairs, I would like... I have such a shortage of decent poison types that I really want the Salazzle one. I could care less about Golisopod.
Aww, I like Golisopod.
I mean, it's a good Pokemon, but I don't need it on my team. It's Water Bug. I have way better water types, and I already have, because of the pull system, a super hyper maxed out Bugsy and Surskit. There are already two really good bug Pokemon in here, and there are not a lot of great poison ones. I mean, the fire is... There's so many fire types in this game for how little they are actually Pokemon in the actual games.
I feel like I do want to pull on this banner, and I have the gems to do so, but man... I feel like the second I'm out of gems, they're going to be like, here's some Gen 8 Pokemon, and that's what I really want.
I mean, yes, that is, quote, how they get you.
Yeah. You want Cramorant is what you want.
I don't, yeah, well, there's not.
Who's going to be paired with Cramorant?
No one. The only person that actually uses Cramorant in the story is Hop, and they're going to give Hop, I mean, if, I shouldn't say, they're going to get, like, I don't know. I'm assuming they would give Hop Dubwool.
Yeah, I would agree.
So I don't think there'd be any actual in-game story character using Cramorant. All right, well, let's take a break. When we come back, we got some Sword and Shield news and a little bit of TCG news, so we will be right back. Forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show, but to piggyback off the fact that I launched a new Animal Crossing podcast called Animals Crossing Lines, I am doing a giveaway for 2 copies of Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Nintendo Switch, digital copies, open worldwide, and the giveaway link will be in the show notes as well as the new podcast if you want something else to listen to. And if you do end up liking it and whatnot, please feel free, actually super helpful, to leave a review for said new podcast, specifically anyone who listens on an Apple device, because they're how Apple does their podcast algorithm. If you're not into Animal Crossing, no big deal. Also, if you are into Animal Crossing, I have been streaming it a lot on twitch.tv/PKMNcast. So I've upped my stream time last week, and I will be upping it this week, just because I know a lot of people are working at home, and a lot of people may have gotten laid off, my wife included, in that situation, so I completely understand that it totally sucks for a lot of people. I get that, so I've upped my stream time to give some people something to do during the day if they're unfortunately out of work, or if they are working at home and they're just trying to have something in the background to keep them occupied. So I have upped my stream time. I'm trying to pump out really as much content as possible between podcasts and YouTube and Twitch and Instagram and stuff. So if you have any feedback for me, whether that's in Slack or on Twitter, please let me know. But feel free to enter the giveaway. It ends on this Friday, hold on. April 3rd, 2020. So if you're listening to this in like 2021, giveaway's over. April 3rd, 2020 is when it ends. If you're listening to this podcast, it's all in the show notes. of your podcast app. You should be able to click the link and I'll take you right there. All right, that's it. That's my spiel. Enjoy the rest of this episode. And I hope you enjoy it. Pokemon TCG Tag Team Powers Collection. Feeling strong? Question mark.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't play the TCG.
Then you are ready for the Pokemon TCG Tag Team Power Collection, a huge lineup of Tag Team Pokemon, Pokemon GX, and much more. This collection delivers 2 Tag Team Pokemon GX etched cards, as well as special artwork, an awesome oversized version of one of these cards, 5 additional Pokemon promos getting you full ready for battle. Not only that, but you will get 8 Pokemon booster packs to add cards to your ranks. Feel the power when you add all these Pokemon to your Pokemon TCG collection today. There's 2 of them. Each TCG collection includes either one full art card featuring... Oh no, they both include this. They each include one full art foil card featuring Espeon and Deoxys GX, one full art card featuring Umbreon and Darkrai GX, one of 2 full art promo cards featuring the Tag Team GX, so one box is Espeon, one's Umbreon, one full art card featuring Eevee, one full promo card featuring Caracosta GX. That's a Pokemon still that no one ever talks about.
Hey.
3 more promo cards featuring Leafeon, Glaceon, and Regigigas. 8 Pokemon.
2 of the best EVs.
8 Pokemon TCG booster packs, and a code card for the TCG Online. Let me zoom into this. Oh boy. Well, I can tell you that these are not worth buying because the first pack I see is a pack of Lost Thunder. And I also see behind this pack of Sword and Shield, it looks like they snuck in an XY Evolutions.
Oh.
I cannot confirm or deny Crimson Invasion is in this. It's not looking like it. It looks like 1 base set Sun and Moon, 1 Celestial Storm, 2 Cosmic Eclipse, 2 Sword and Shield, 1 XY Evolutions, and 1 Lost Thunder. Why do they hate players?
They don't. They like money.
Yes.
Just stop giving us bad packs.
What is the... Okay, I'm looking at the pictures, and I don't know any of these.
I think I would take XY Evolutions over... Yes, that's not even a question. I would 100% take XY Evolutions over Crimson Invasion.
What's in XY Evolutions?
You could at least get, like, base set Charizard.
Okay, yes.
And you can get, like, full art Brock's Grit, and you can get, like, full art Misty, which aren't, like, worth a lot, but at least they're, like, super pretty. But, yeah, you can get base set Charizard.
You got a full art chiseled...
you got
Zacian
super special card.
V card, right?
Oh, yeah. I ended up pulling the gold Zacian V. It was crazy, too, because I pulled Zacian V, like, the day before. So for those that may not be familiar, on Twitch, every now and then I'll open booster packs on stream, usually, like, 2 or 3 booster packs a day in the middle of the stream. And so, like, a couple days ago, I opened Zacian, and I, like, freaked out because Zacian is the best card of that set, Zacian V. And then, like, 2 days later, I pulled the all gold version of Zacian V, which I actually might send in to get it rated, because I think if you grade it and it grades at, like, a 9 or a 10, it's worth, like, $200. Got to start selling Pokemon cards to make up for Irene being out of work.
Oh, man.
Get that ancient Mew card ready.
Yeah.
Time to cash in.
That one's still appreciating in value.
I mean, it's your rainy day card.
Yeah, that's right. Got to open up the collector's closet right next to the Detective Pikachu straws from 7-Eleven. I think they've increased in value, hopefully.
Do you have any of those Pokemon Smucker's jelly card glasses you could sell?
Oh, the jelly glasses? I think my parents might have the Jigglypuff one in their cabinet, but we had 2 of them as a kid, but I think one dropped and shattered.
I have one that I was given as a gift 4 years ago, I think. That's in my bathroom.
I have 2 sets of the Burger King gold coins.
Those are... What's gold going for right now? A lot? Sure.
We've talked about this on the podcast before when I was like 12 years old and I was like, oh man, these Burger King Pokemon gold plated cards are going to pay for my college.
Yeah.
We went through at least 10 drive-thrus looking for all of them.
And they paid for your college.
Oh gosh, I think maybe if you have a full set, it's like maybe $40.
$10.
Burger King,
I don't know what college
gold
you're going
Pokemon.
to. But...
All right, here we go. They're 23 carats, 23K gold. It looks like full set, buy now, best offer. Oh, it says read description. Uh-oh. Are these knockoff ones? What's the description? $19.99 Burger King Pokemon 23 karat gold. Red box Pikachu sealed. Condition is new. You will only receive the Pikachu one. Oh, that's how they get you. They got all of them in the photo. I mean, they do say read description. That's I want complete set.
I did find a article from usgamer.net, and I'm going to read you the title. Sorry, Pokemon fans, your gold-plated cards from Burger King aren't worth squat.
Oh, no. Okay. They went up in price. The closet is going up in value. This might be the time to sell. All right. It looks like complete 6 boxes and all 6. Buy now for $124.99. This one's saying all of them complete in box. All 6, $120. This one's saying all new, $150. Although there's no bids on any of these.
Yeah, there you go.
So the actual price is 0 because nobody's willing to buy them.
You know, possibly. This person's saying they're doing all 6 for $99. This one's only doing the Mewtwo for $50. I don't think that's a deal.
That's not a deal. If you can get all of them for $99,
it's very true.
And then turn around and sell them for $150. That's how you play the auction house.
There you go.
I learned that from MMOs.
Okay. Well, we'll circle back in a couple of years. We'll let them get a little more value to them. All right, here's our Sword and Shield news. Gigantamax, Charizard, Garbodor, Copperajah, Duraludon. Sorry, that's how we say it. We heard them actually say it finally.
Oh, we did?
We did in the Nintendo Mini Direct.
Oh.
Will appear...
I always thought it was Duraludon. What were we saying before?
I think I was saying... Duraludon? Is it Duraludon or Duraludon? Now I don't know.
Because it's Dura for durable.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's Duraludon. Duraludon.
D-U-R-A. Duraludon.
Yeah. I agree.
Duraludon.
Oh, are you bringing up that clip?
I don't actually have the clip favorited, but I have the point in the trailer where they say it. Duraludon. Is that what we said?
No.
Okay, that's how they say it. Duraludon. There we go. It's in podcast writing. What was I reading? Oh. Gigantamax, Charizard, Garbodor, Copperajah, and Duraludon appear in max raid battles.
I swear they don't know how pronunciation and spellings work at
it's
the Pokemon
possible.
Company.
It's possible.
Okay, so this is the more important news before we get to the raid rotation. We've been saying Inteleon wrong.
What?
They say they finally say out loud Cinderace, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Rillaboom.
No, Cinderace.
Yeah, it's Cinderace, so moving on.
Rillaboom, very easy.
Yep.
And then we've all been saying on the podcast for months, Inteleon. Time to make some people upset. It's Inteleon, not Inteleon.
Inteleon?
Yes, like chameleon.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It makes sense.
But I don't want to see it.
I mean, it's still going to be Inteleon in Cinderace, so...
So it's Inteleon. Anytime they break down a name, like Milotic and Rayquaza, it makes sense.
The company frustrates me because they don't keep it consistent.
They do though. I mean, with the exception of
Kecleon
Arceus.
is also based off of a chameleon.
Oh,
It's
like
not
you're saying, like
Kecleon.
other Pokemon in the thing.
Yeah.
Because people always default to the Arceus one, but like they've went on record saying they've changed Arceus's name. They've never went on record being like, people didn't say Milotic right, so we changed it to Milotic. like it's always been Milotic.
I just wish they would have consistency.
All they literally need is for the Pokedex to say these Pokemon's names. That's all they have to do.
Yeah,
and then like
except
no
that
one
there's
could
too many
possibly
different languages.
No one could possibly debate it because like every time I hear the argument, like I saw somebody make the argument Nintendo doesn't know actual Pokemon pronunciation. Like what?
What
kind of argument? Like,
How does that work?
You can't trust the Nintendo Direct? Well, if you can't trust the Nintendo Direct, who are we trusting at this point? Because these are the same people that are like, oh, you can't trust the anime. Well, if you can't trust the anime, and you can't trust the Pokedex 3D app, and you can't trust the Detective Pikachu, like, I don't, who are we supposed to trust, Mr.
Them.
Very upset that, like, it's called now Intelliant? Like, oh my gosh. It's, like, I don't... Anyways, that's my daily rant for the show. But... what were we talking about?
Intellion.
The new
yeah.
Wild Area news.
Yeah, no, you're right, Greg. Like, Charmeleon, Kecleon, Intellion, they all have different... They all end with Eon.
I mean, this one is more frustrating because it's supposed to also be based off of a chameleon. So, if you're going to say, like, Kecleon, who is 100% a chameleon, should then be changed.
Yeah, but Kecleon sounds so weird.
Are we saying Kecleon wrong? Is it Kecleon?
Oh, no.
Pull up the 3DS.
It's charged. Let me take a look. Okay, let's
Oh, it's charged.
Oh, it's always charged.
It's ready to go for this podcast. All right. Well, let's do Charmeleon, too. I'll start with Charmeleon because it's easier to find.
Okay. Ooh, that sweet music.
Charmeleon.
Yeah.
Intellion. I guess those are similar.
Kecleon!
See? Dang it! Nintendo, get it together. Quit now, frauds, with your bad pronunciations.
They don't know how the Pokemon names are pronounced.
Yeah, they haven't had enough time with the Pokemon franchise.
No, there's 890, and the person that figures out pronunciation stopped caring at around 151.
Oh boy. Get ready for Gigantamax takeover in Pokemon Sword and Shield as Gigantamax versions of Charizard, Garbodor, Copperajah. How did we say this?
Duraludon.
Duraludon will be more frequently appearing in max raid battles until April 27th. Head into the wild area to search for these elusive Gigantamax Pokemon. To challenge these Pokemon in a max raid battle, you need to connect your Nintendo Switch system to the internet. When you see a pillar of light shining in a den, you can walk up to it and interact to a max raid battle. While the Gigantamax Pokemon are appearing more frequently in max raid battles, you will encounter one. You'll sometimes encounter one of them instead of a Dynamax Pokemon. Outside of these special time periods, encountering Gigantamax Pokemon is extremely rare, unless you know how to move your clock forward. Don't wait. You don't want to miss out on your chance. Okay, so the weird thing here in this press release, where I read that off Pokemon.com, is in the Nintendo Mini Direct. They actually say out loud that Copperajah and Duraludon will be appearing more frequently in Sword, and Charizard and Garbodor will be more frequently appearing in Shield, which Cerebi and Bulbapedia have the odds for that. Pretty much all 4 Pokemon appear in 3 to 4 star raids. I also made a graphic about this, but specifically 5-star raids are limited. Garbodor, Charizard to Shield, and then the other 2 to Sword. So it is possible to get all 4 in in one game. It's just if you specifically wanted 5-star, the 5 stars were more limited, so you would be easier as a Shield player to find Garbodor or Charizard, but still possible to find the other 2.
Yeah, but that's the same thing they did for Machamp and Gengar.
Yes, it was also the same thing they did for the Alcremie, where certain flavors of Alcremie were more easy to find in specific stars. I think Mint was only in 3 and 5 stars, and Ruby Swirl was only in 5, and vanilla was only in 2 or something like that. The Nintendo Mini Direct also showed off the moves, the Gigantamax moves that Inteleon, Rillaboom, and Cinderace do. And I believe they all do the same moves. Well, all their moves are different in the sense of like they look different, but I think they all have the same effect, which I think is it disables the other Pokemon's ability.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, when used, the opponent's abilities have no effect when attacking. That's how they worded it exactly. There were some other things that they announced at the end of the Nintendo Direct. If you did not watch it, if you actually go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/PKMNcast, you can watch me watch the Nintendo Direct if you want my opinions on everything. I was very excited about the Ring Fit update.
I need a Ring Fit, and there are none for sale.
Remember?
Very upset.
Look at the 2 boys that made fun of me for Ring Fit. Now we're yelling at.
I'm at the bike shop because I'm going to buy a bike because I still prefer to be outside than jumping up and down in my living room.
I mean, I'm only interested in Ring Fit because I am forced to be locked in my home.
Yeah, now Ring Fit's going for like $700 on eBay. That's the real thing that who needs an ancient
that's gonna
view?
Get you through these hard time.
Well, you think you can trade 6 Burger King gold coins for 1 Ring Fit?
How many gold coins for a Ring Fit?
So there are new League card designs, and there's an early purchase bonus for Sword and Shield. Another early purchase bonus. Maybe they don't have enough pre-orders. I'm not sure. Pokemon trainers in the Galar region can make new League cards to introduce themselves as trainers progress through the adventure on the Island of Armor or the Crown Tundra. Backgrounds, effects, and frames that were not available in Sword and Shield will be added. Players can also change their League card using the Rotami Card Maker feature with new outfits, designs, and hairstyles to create a unique League card. Trainers who purchase either the Sword or Shield or players who either purchase the Pokemon Sword expansion pass or the Pokemon Shield expansion pass soon after the launch of the Players who purchase, I gotta get the details right here, either expansion pass soon after the launch of the Island of Armor expansion, or for players who have already purchased it, will receive Leon's cap and tights as an early purchase in-game bonus.
I don't want his tights.
Players will also be
I kind of do.
Players will also be able to receive these islands after the release of the Island of Armor by the end of June 2020 until 7 a.m. PDT on Monday, August 31st, 2020. So you get the pre-order bonus right now is the Pikachu and Eevee shirt, or outfit, I should say. But also, you will get Leon's. So this is rewarding players to get the expansion before the end of August to get Leon's stuff.
And sign up for the international thing if you want the Great Ball shirt.
Yes, sign up for your Great Ball shirt, and then we'll remind you guys to participate in one battle to actually get the shirt.
I say that knowing I have not signed up yet.
The Pokemon Sword expansion pass and the Pokemon Shield expansion pass, new downloadable content for Sword and Shield will contain both the Island of Armor and the Crown Tundra, 2 separate adventures where you will be able to meet new characters, catch new Pokemon, explore. It says catch newly discovered Pokemon, so I don't know how many new Pokemon, and explore new areas of the Galar region. The Island of Armor is still scheduled to be released at the end of June 2020, and the Crown Tundra fall of 2020. So if I move my calendar to June, I'm going to say June 26th. That is the last possible Friday in June. That would be my guess.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
Well, if E3 was supposed to be, June 8th, 9th, and 10th, and E3 got canceled, they would have probably, I guess it could be the 12th, 19th, or 26th, but I'm assuming at E3 there would have probably been a trailer for this to hype people up, saying it's coming in a week or 2. I'm sure that Nintendo Direct will still exist that week, because Nintendo...
they can do the Treehouse of Terror from anywhere.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, they can treehouse wherever they want. They could be treehousing right now and pre-recording it and getting it ready. Does this talk about Urshifu? I don't think this press release does, oddly enough.
It did say you can catch new Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true. So I guess, I don't know if you guys saw the Nintendo Direct.
I did.
I did not.
Okay, so when they do show the island of armor, they show the guy who trained Leon. I don't remember his name, but the game says like when you train at the dojo, which is probably the story part of it, you will receive the legendary Pokemon Kubfu, Mustard. That's his name. And then there are 2 different towers on the island. One is called the Tower of Fists, the Tower of Two Fists. Oh, sorry. Both towers are called the Towers of Two Fists. One is a water tower, and one is a darkness tower. And so depending on which tower you go into is how Kubfu will evolve into Urshifu, depending on the style. So I believe once you go into a tower, the other tower will lock you out.
And Greninja will be at the top of both. Is that what we're picking up here? Dark water?
Oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah, probably. No, one is dark and one is water. Maybe Greninja's the final one in both.
Yeah, it covers both.
The other thing is near the end of the trailer, they show the new Slowpoke and they show them running super fast out of the building, which is weird because Slowpoke is really slow. Also, yeah, so I'm not sure what that signifies. I'm not because the Slowpoke in the train station that you catch definitely acts like a Slowpoke.
Maybe they were scared. Get the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Really booking it, I guess. Well, you got time for Gigantamax, Charizard, Garbodor, Caparaja, Duraludon. I don't know how to. I can't remember how they. Well, I'll get it eventually. Give me like 3 days. Duraludon. If you need people to raid with, I'm still playing Pokemon. I'm playing a lot of Animal Crossing.
Raid night.
Monday night raid night. So we'll be raiding Monday evening for some Charizards and Garbodors and stuff. So if you want to swing by the stream and raid with some other people, otherwise, this is exactly what's going to happen. In about 3 weeks, when this is ending, people are going to be like, I didn't get any of these and no one wants to raid anymore.
I try to keep to Monday night raid night. Can I also say I'm a little frustrated that the silhouette of Gigantazard looks like not Kyurem. The dragons from Gen 5. Why can't I think of the name right now?
Reshiram?
No, it looks like Reshiram.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real frustrating because I got all excited. I was like, Reshiram's in the game? And I'm like, oh, no, it's just Gigazard.
Yep. Monday night, 7 Central. I'm usually on. I open up all my raids just to the public. If you see it, join me. Because I'll tell you, for everybody who says, oh, nobody will raid with me, I always have one spot where nobody's joined.
Yep, same here.
Also, just a heads up, we've talked about this before, but I know there are probably new people listening to the show and whatnot. The code doesn't just work. So unlike trading and battling where you're like, here's my 4-digit code, let's trade. Here's my 4-digit code, let's battle. It doesn't work for raids. So what happens is the YCOM specifically looks for people doing raids, and it will intermix random people and your friends. And so if you aren't friends with somebody, you are hoping that then that random person is the person hosting the raid, and then you enter a code, which is almost never going to happen unless you have really good like server RNG. Just like saying like, hey, I have a raid open, here's my 4-digit code. That doesn't work. Ideally, you have to add people, and then those people will appear on your YCOM. And then if Will goes, I have a 4-star Caparaja, the code is 1111. Then once you see Will on your YCOM, because you are on his friends list, then you can enter the 1111 to join. So just keep that in mind. I know there are some people that are like, no one's hosting raids, or I can't see anyone's raids. You have to add other people. So ideally, if you're in Slack or Discord, or if you're hanging out on Twitch, feel free to post your friend code and have people add you. Also, if you're adding some people, add a couple more people, because it's way easier to do it with 4 humans than it is 2 humans, Soul Rock, and a Magikarp.
You got that right.
So it just goes by quicker. Just basic human level common courtesy. Don't get super salty when no one joins your garbage raids. I'm not talking about Garb Order. I'm talking about your Lunatone raids or your Lantern raids. Don't be salty when people aren't joining if you're not joining their garbage raids as well.
Although I will get salty when I start up any raid and my 3 humans bring 2 shiny Machamps and a Zacian. Like, come on, think of type effectiveness here, folks.
No, people just flexing those shinies. I don't mind doing garbage raids. Most of the time, the garbage raids go way quicker than like a Gigantamax Pokemon.
Yeah, and then you get a hidden ability something or other.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And or you just stock it up on TMs. I feel like people seem to forget, like, you're still getting reward. Like, I don't care about the Pokemon at this point. But if I'm going to cycle through my raids faster, I'll do a 2-star Bidoof just to, get rid of my 5-star Sandaconda, not Gmax, that I don't want to do. All right. Let's squeeze Pokemon of the week in here.
We don't have a question this week?
Oh, sorry, question of the week. That's what I meant to say. Greg, that's all you.
Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at the Gigantamax stuff. All right, ready? What's the question of the week?
Wow.
Short and sweet.
There you go.
Okay, this one is from Chris in our Slack community, Attic channel. Which modern replacements for HMs do you prefer? Alola's Poke Rides, Let's Go Secret Techniques, in Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, or Galar's Rotom Box and Rotom Bike and Flying Taxi?
I preferred Alola's Poke Rides because I liked feeling more like it was more Pokemon based in the Pokemon world. I just liked that more Pokemon connection feel that I got from those.
I prefer the Galar version because I absolutely hate having to watch the animation when I want to go someplace in Alola.
Oh, the Charizard thing?
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, please. And once again, it's like, and it's the same thing of like my whole original argument for why I actually preferred HMs, that I could apply them to my Pokemon, and then it was my Pokemon that was doing the thing for me, and not just a Pokemon that I was told to use. Kind of moves over to Galar. I mean, yes, the flying taxis with their weird rules of where they will and will not go. Okay. But it's like, it's my bike that I'm riding. So I can kind of like appreciate that, that it's my bike that's taking me out onto the water and everything. So I prefer that. Keeps me in the moment a little better than having to like call on a Charizard that I, would rather be flying on something else, but that's fine.
I prefer the Galar stuff too. Like some of Alola's stuff is just, it's like it was a super good replacement to HMs, but pulling out Mudsdale to walk across 4 feet of rocky terrain to get to the other side was so tedious. And that was just like a way from them to like prevent you from progressing without being like, you need Mudsdale. But even before that, well, I guess you could go south of the mountain and see the rocky terrain and be like, I can't cross this yet. I have to beat Sophocles first. But they could have just put like path closed where they did with every other part of Alola, where it's like, we got paths closed, got a Tauros on the loose. But I did really think, so for Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee was so charming to see which Pokemon you could ride. Like riding Snorlax was so cool. Being on Persian or Arcanine was really cool. And I don't know, a lot of people like miss the bike, but I think riding on Arcanine is way cooler than riding a bike. But
yeah, but you could ride the Pokemon, but they weren't the HMs.
Yeah.
Like, the secret techniques were just cut screens for the most part.
Right, yeah. Like there was still cut in Let's Go Pikachu because they wanted to keep it somewhat faithful. So that was a little annoying to be like, well, I still got to cut this bush to get to the other side. But I prefer Galar stuff. I mean, just like, I think I like the bike more when I'll be able to customize the bike more in the DLC. And then it will feel like my own bike. And yeah, I think the flying taxing is fine.
I hate I hate the bike outfits and I hate the bike. Like, I think they're until I can get something that I like that looks better. Nah.
Yeah.
And I don't like. I think some of the complaints of Alola's HMs are level design and not the actual system of using the Pokemon. Like the fact that they decided to put in rocky ground and that only one type
And you
could
use it like
cross
twice.
It's twice. It's the same thing. Like you can't get across water on the bike until they somehow teach you how to put on inflatable wheels. Like it's the same bizarre gatekeeping. You can't do this until we teach you how to do this. That exists in both. It's just it's the same.
Well, if you have a linear story, you don't need to do that because you're forcing the character to go down paths, and they're not going to see that stuff until they get there. But if you have a more open game, then you have to have this weird gatekeeping of like, okay, you can see that over there, but you don't have the item to do that, or you can go this way, but only so far, which was like the thing in the thing in Sword and Shield where it's like, oh, I can't go here yet because I need the bike. And I don't have that. I think the game that did that probably the best was Gen 2? Where you could technically go to the Lake of Rage before you did anything else, or if you wanted to go the other way, you could do that too.
I mean, the T branch. The T branch is mostly a false choice. Because you could go that way and visit those things, but the story events won't activate until you do them in the proper order.
Yeah, so you're going to have to go back anyway.
So you have to go back anyways. I mean, that's like the illusion of choice. Sure, you can do it. Nothing activates. and because they made the choice of giving in the illusion of choice, those two routes had to be of the same level, which made grinding in that game even worse. Like, that's straight up poor design.
No, I agree.
It's like, hey, we give you choice. You can go either way, but not really, because if you go this one way, nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, it's the same like old video game thing of like, do you want to join my team? Yes or no? And then no doesn't do anything. And it's like, at least some games gave you like a witty dialogue if you did like no 2 or 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
But if you're not even going to go out of your way to give me something witty for pressing the other option that you gave me for the illusion of choice, then why are you wasting my why is this even
why is this a choice?
Just let me do it. Like, unless you're going to reward me with an Easter egg, which you're not. It's just more annoying than anything. Man, I hate that in games. I hate the like yes or no.
Move into my camp. Move here now. You have 2 choices.
Pokemon of the week, Will.
All right, last week's Pokemon. I didn't say it explicitly, but it was Pokemon number 400. It's a beaver. And commonly used for HMs, as we were just talking about in the past, up through Gen 5. You could use this one for HMs. So who dat Pokemon?
It's
Pasquale.
What?
That's a villager.
I think he's also.
And his name is Pasquale.
I think he's also an otter, not a beaver.
Is there a beaver villager?
Now I have to look.
I googled it. There is. There's Chip and CJ. They do the fishing tournament.
Oh, that's right, because they eat the fish after you catch them.
What they do? Oh,
they used to. Well, he used to like. It's kind of like the chameleon guy who does the insect tournament,
Flick.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna take care of your bug," and then he's like, "Gulp!" when you walk out of the tent.
I want CJ for my village so bad.
I think he just hosts the fishing tournament, though.
I don't care. I want him to live.
Non-resident. Sorry.
I want him to live in my.
You're leaving these people
Anyways,
in suspense, Greg.
Pokemon is Barrel.
I believe they say B barrel.
I don't care.
No.
All pronunciations are off.
Well, okay.
Carablast?
Okay, it's Carablast.
Let's get the details on this bad boy. Wait, how do you spell it? B-I.
B-I.
Beldum.
Oop, wrong one.
Beldum.
B-Barrel.
Oh, come on now.
B-Barrel.
Again, they don't understand how any of our phenomes work. Is that what I'm thinking of? Sure. We're going
Vowels?
with it. Anyways.
An I is an E in Japanese, isn't it?
Well, okay, yeah, but it's not Japanese.
Here's your trivia. Origin. B-Barrel seems to be based on a beaver.
There you go. See?
Which is why I'm sure it's B-Barrel because of the beaver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B-Barrel may be a combination of beaver or Bieber, German for beaver, and barrel. It also may refer to bib, which is similar to the pattern on B-Barrel's front.
There's not a lot of trivia here. The Pokemon Shuffle icon, what you expect. I will say the Conquest icon of B-Barrel, looking very epic.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
The Conquest, good Pokemon
it's a wild game. I should play that again. I have to find it.
The only bad part about that game is the ending. It's so sloggy.
Yeah.
And it's on a 3DS only.
Yeah, also sloggy. No, I think it was a DS game, wasn't it?
It was a DS game.
Yeah, DS. It was like literally end of DS life cycle, I think.
When did it come out? 2012. Yeah. So really close to the end.
All right. This week's Pokemon. When sound type is introduced into the game, this week's Pokemon will be a clear contender. It is noted for producing 7 either tones or cries, which can result in ultrasonic waves that have the power to knock foes flying. It has a suction cup on its head to hang from the eaves of buildings or tree branches, but it is also known for flying about in warmer weather. It cannot learn Fly as a move, though. Its sole ability is Levitate. The first games this Pokemon appeared in were Ruby and Sapphire, and, fittingly enough, the last games where this Pokemon was available in-game were Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Knowing this Pokemon and its pre-evolution, you would think they shared typing with Jirachi, the Wish Pokemon, but they do not. They are a monotype, and not the type you would expect from their appearance. This week's Pokemon can be found in Stage 100 of Pokemon Shuffle within the Silburn Museum segment. It is notably the only Pokemon of its type found within this segment of the game. In the last games where this Pokemon could be found in the wild, there was a 5% chance that it could be found with a Cleanse tag. This is a held item with no in-battle effect. Instead, if the Cleanse tag is held by your lead Pokemon, it reduces your chances of encountering a wild Pokemon. There you go. That's your Pokemon for the week.
And that is our episode for the week. Monday Night Raids. If you want to participate, twitch.tv/PKMNcast. Nintendo Direct on the YouTube. New Animal Crossing podcast. Should be in your podcast feeds if you want to listen to that. Bone up on some Animal Crossing. Otherwise, I think that's it. At Will is at washing the sink. I don't think you have the handle at Will yet.
No, I do not.
I'm sure that's somebody who works at Twitter. Greg is at White Wing. I am at Dragging a Lake. At PKMNcast on Twitter. Oh, also, speaking of all this Animal Crossing, I am giving away 2 digital copies of Animal Crossing New Horizons to celebrate the podcast launch. So the giveaway stuff will be in the show notes if you want to enter. It ends on Friday, April 3rd, I think? April 2nd? I don't know what day that is. April 3rd. It ends on April 3rd at 1 p.m. So if you haven't played Animal Crossing, you want a free game, you own Animal Crossing, but your significant other doesn't, you want to enter, completely free, in the show notes. And you'll probably get it instantly, because I'll just send you the code, and then you enter it. Easy. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week. Be safe, wash your hands, take care. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
super effective.
Super sorry we missed you, St. Louis.
mean, we didn't get robbed, so bonus.
Bonus.
This podcast is supported by our Patreon backers, and some of those people paid money to get their name read at the end of this show. A huge thank you to Alex, Courtney, Jetsy, Casey, Catherine, Kay, Kevin, Liam, Matthew, Noah, Patrick, Ryton, and Sejanus. And a shout out to our executive producer of Anthony. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to support the podcast as well, you can go over to patreon.com/itssupereffective, or you can head over to the easier to remember domain, ise.cash. Super easy to remember because money exchanges hands, and ISC is short for the podcast. Also, shout out to Nick, who does all the music for the show. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for making it to the end. This was new. Hey, it was different. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for supporting the show and listening. Really, really, truly appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Bye.